One of the reasons why I walked away from the Democratic Party is because I felt that they weren't making an effort to get my vote. They felt like they were entitled to my vote automatically, and that's why I started to walk away. Now, in 2016, I was 18 years old. I was old enough to vote, and I didn't vote at all. Why? Because I was expected to vote Democrat because of Hillary Clinton, because I'm Hispanic and everyone else Hispanics vote for Democrats. And I didn't want to vote for Trump because at the time he hadn't won me over just yet. I said just yet. So 2016, I did the most idiotic thing I could have ever done, and that is not to vote. I didn't vote that. I didn't vote that election because I didn't feel like it. The Democrats felt they were entitled to my vote, and the Republicans hadn't won my vote yet. But now come 2020, Republicans have won my vote. Donald Trump has won my vote, and the Democrats they still think that they're entitled to my vote. That I have to vote Democrat because I'm Hispanic, when that's really not the case. That's why I walked away. Many of these leftists, many of these Democrats believe that minorities vote a certain way and they must vote a certain way, otherwise they are traitors to their own communities. If you're a black person who votes conservative, you're called an Uncle Tom, right? In my case, I get called a race traitor. In some cases, I even get called a fake Hispanic because I do not believe in the Democratic Party anymore. But even the civil rights attorney believes that the Democrats own the black vote and that black people must vote for them just because. And I agree with the civil rights attorney because the Democrats, regardless of what minority is it, they believe that all minorities must vote for Democrats because they are entitled to that vote. But anyways, let's see what's going on. Let's see what the civil rights attorney has to say. Civil rights attorney. Democrats believe every black man has to vote for them. They do not own me. At least that's what the attorney said. Civil rights attorney Leo Terrell has had enough of the Democratic Party's racial politics, which he characterized as every black man being expected to vote for them. Actually, fix that. Black American being expected to vote for them. Speaking with Sean Hannity on Tuesday, Terrell said that he will be voting for President Donald Trump because the Democratic Party honestly believes that every black man has to vote for them and that they own us. I'm with you on that one, man. I'm not black, but I am a minority, and I think the Democrats believe every minority needs to vote for the Democrats. They believe that every minority vote is owned by the Democrats, and I think that's very stupid. That's why I stopped looking at Democrats, dude, because they believe that they honestly believe that we're gonna vote for them automatically. I think that's dumb. Look at what's going on in these cities. Example in Maxine Waters' district, she's facing a very strong challenger in the Republican side. The guy is also black, right? I'm gonna bring that up because the reason why is because Maxine Waters she can't use the black card anymore because her contender is black, her opponent is black. But the guy is literally saying what everyone else is saying. Maxine Waters has been representing us for decades, and look at our neighborhoods, look at our cities. She's done nothing for us. Under me, I'm gonna work for your vote. I'm gonna fight for your vote, but most importantly, I'm gonna be fighting for you. That right there is someone that is fed up with Maxine Waters. Look at many of these cities. Nancy Pelosi. Look at San Francisco. San Francisco is literally used to be a crown jewel of California. Now it's just a very shitty city, and I mean that in every sense of the word. No pun intended. It's a literal shitty city. That's what happens when these people think that we're entitled to the minority vote because we are Democrats. That's what happens. Another example, New York City, Chuck Schumer. Look how bad his state is in right now, but he thinks that he's entitled to the minority vote. That's why I walked away from this party, and good on him, and good for Leo Terrell for doing the same thing. Anyways, going. Leo Terrell asserted as independent from the Democratic Party, saying they do not own me. Over a million blacks voted for Trump in 2016. They're going to be twice as many in 2020. As to why he believed that there were so many black voters who will flock for Trump in November, Terrell said that school choice could be a deciding factor. Democrats will not allow black kids school choice vouchers, he said. It's outrageous. The number one civil rights issue, school choice and vouchers would have gone. We've got to change that. And I agree. Luckily, I was one of those people who my district was not very strict in terms of where you live. For example, I don't know if you're aware, but the zip code that you live in, the zip code is determined on what schools you go to, right? For example, in my case, my zip code falls on ward number 5 or 6 where my city lives. I think it's 5 or 6. But the point is, I have to go to the schools that are within my ward. In this case, my school was Century High School because it falls within my ward. The school that I wanted to go, they didn't fall in my ward. I think it was ward number 4, which was Santa Ana High School. I didn't want to go to Century High School because at the time Century High School was a failing high school. At the time when I went, San Ana High School was a thriving high school. It was one of the best. Like obviously then there was Sigerstrom, there was Godinez, but San Ana High School was one of the top three in the district. I didn't want to go to a failing school. I had to go through the process of trying to petition to get me to move from Century to Santa Ana. It was a very tedious process. Granted, it wasn't as strict compared to other cities, but luckily I was fortunate enough to go to be sent to Santa Ana High School with all the bureaucratic mumbo jumbo that I had to go through. But a lot of these cities are not like that. A lot of these cities they will not even negotiate that. They will say you're going to a school where your ward is at, where your zip code is at. I don't care if it's a failing school. You have to go there because the government says so. And I think that's idiotic. I don't think I would have been as successful as I am today in terms of going to school, not to mention having a more optimistic viewpoint in terms of academics if I hadn't gone to where I went in terms of schooling. I'm thankful for that. Like I said, some kids don't have that privilege, and I think school choice is a very deciding factor, not even amongst the black community in general, but amongst minorities in general. I'm sick and tired of seeing kids getting sent to failing schools because of their zip code. Like I told my brother, like my little brother, he's very fortunate. I went to a middle school that was considered a failing middle school. Luckily, when I got a new principal, he turned the whole school around. It came from a failing school to a very successful middle school, which I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that principal because he changed the school around. But my brother, he went to a good middle school. Again, school choice for that matter. He petitioned to go to that school. And now he's going to a high school which is in the top three, which is going to Godinez. The guy is very privileged. And I told him, that's what happens when you get school choice. You get to choose where you want to go, and you're not being forced to go to a failing school. Like I went to a failing middle school for the first year. Then it became a successful middle school. And I guess, like I said, I agree. Many of these Democrats do not want us to become successful because they think, oh, if they're failing, we just promise them free stuff. We're just going to keep screwing with them, and they'll keep voting for us. But anyways, let's keep going. According to Fox News, Terrell referred comments made by former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. I think it's pronounced Condoleezza Rice. Really, Condoleezza Rice. That's how you pronounce it. Wow, okay. Condoleezza Rice on Tuesday, when she told Peter Baker of the New York Times, as the Aspen Security Forum said, a problem of the left is telling black people how to think. I don't care if we're colorblind, but I would like to get to the place that when you see somebody who is black, you don't have preconceived notions of what they're capable of, who they are, by the way, and what they think, which is why I think is a problem of the left. Rice said, you look at somebody who's black and you think you know what they think, or you at least think you know what they think, or at least you think what they ought to think. I agree. I agree every sense of the word. Like I said, when I go to college, people are surprised. They're surprised when they see me wearing a MAGA hat, or a Keep America Great hat, or even a Trump hat for that matter. They're surprised when they see me wearing a shirt that says pro-Second Amendment. Many of these college leftists, they look at me and they think, oh, he's Hispanic. He must vote Democrat. He must be anti-gun. He must hate Trump. When in reality, they don't know what I think. And in fact, I think the opposite. Again, it surprises them. Like I said, some people, like the ones who are liberals, like the classical liberals that I've met, very nice people. I like them. I like how they think. I like how they're willing to have a conversation. There's some leftists who just literally look at my shirt and say, pro Second Amendment, and they look at me and says, "You're an asshole." And I'm thinking to myself, "What did I do? Oh, nothing. Oh, it's my shirt. Oh, it's a pro Second Amendment shirt. You think I'm an asshole? Okay." Right? There's always the classical liberals that I've run into in college that give me faith in the Democratic Party. How they don't think like, I'll rephrase that. How they think that they know me, but once they get to know me, they're surprised, right? I think to myself, I was like, wow, you're for the Second Amendment? It's like, yeah, I'm for the Second Amendment, man. I actually like the Second Amendment. I was like, really? I didn't expect that because everyone, from what I've been told, that is that minorities do not like guns. And I was like, oh, really? We don't like guns. Or, well, you're meeting a minority that loves his guns. Right? And we have a conversation, we have fun, we talk about our viewpoints, and then sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree, but at the end of the day, we shake hands and we say, good day, hope you have a good day, stay safe, and we're on our way, right? But that's the problem with many of the Democrats in holding public office, though. They think that just because we're minorities, that we think a certain way, that we have to vote a certain way, and that's not the case. Like I said, Maxine Waters' district, her opponent is literally putting up a good fight. Hopefully he wins. Unfortunately, I do not live in that district, so I wouldn't be able to vote for the guy. Hopefully that guy wins. Because if he does win, I'm hoping that we're gonna start seeing California, a lot of everyday Americans who are fed up with these politicians who've been in government for decades and they haven't done anything for us. So again, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with the civil rights attorney? Do you agree with Leo Terrell in saying that the Democratic Party believes that the black vote should automatically go to them? And do you agree with my expansion of the argument in that Democrats believe that all minorities should vote for the Democrat regardless of their policies? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, hit all notifications after you click on that bell. And if you guys want my content, if you want other people to see my content, if you want to see this channel grow, share this video with your friends and family. If you have people, relatives who are very teeter-tottering between Democrat and Republican coming this election, show them this video. Show them this video and have them see a viewpoint of a minority who has stepped away from the Democratic Party because of their constant lies and their constant inactivity in terms of representing our needs. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, like I said, and I'll see you guys next time.